Okay, here we are, ready to approach a word problem. However, the mission is possible if you just break them down, of course. So right now we're going to take a look at some of the problem set questions from lesson 5. Solving ratios by finding equivalent ratios. First of all, we do know that a ratio is a comparison between two numbers or two amounts. When approaching ratio problems, it gets a little more difficult, but what will be your best friend are tape diagrams. You really need to use tape diagrams. So, problem number 1 in the problem set on page 22 says, last summer at Camp Okie Fun Okie, the ratio of the number of boy campers to the number of girl campers was 8 to 7. First thing I have to do is jot down that information. It's very important. Okay, so it's boys to girls, so the boys are first. And I spend a little bit extra time trying to make my tape diagrams pretty neat. And the reason for that is once I approach these word problems, if they're lined up, they're much easier to solve, and I will show you why. So we have a ratio of 8 to 7, boys to girls, okay? It says if there were a total of 195 campers, so there are 195 people that are camping, okay? And there they are, and that's the boy to girl ratio. How many boy campers were there? That's the actual question. The first question is how many boys were there, how many girls. Now, what we really want to focus on this problem is what says if there were a total of 195 campers. That's a total. Well, we already know what the ratio is. The ratio of boys to girls, of course, is 8 to 7. And I know that all of them together have to equal 195. So in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the tape diagram of the boys and the girls. Okay, I add 8 to 7, and I get 15. And the reason why I'm doing that in this particular problem is because it says there were a total of 195 campers. I can't find out how many boy campers there were and girl campers there were unless I use this number and divide it by the amount of pieces in my tape diagram. Okay, so once I do that and once I divide it out, I'll just talk while I'm doing it and hope I don't make any errors as I'm doing so. Okay, this will tell me what goes in each and every piece of this tape diagram, and it looks like 13 is the amount that goes in every single piece of the tape diagram. Each step of approaching a word problem like this is, again, very important, especially the tape diagram and filling it out properly. Once I have my tape diagram completed, then I can answer the questions that are being asked of me. We want to know how many boy campers there are and how many girl campers there are. And I just want to reinforce the fact that if I have 195 campers in total, the ratio of boys to girls is 8 to 7. So I took those 15 pieces of tape diagram and divided them by the 195 to get 13. So now all I have to do is multiply 13 times 8, because this is 8 pieces. So I know that there are 104 boys. And I know once I multiply 7 times 13 that there are 91 girls, for a total of 104 plus 91 girls equals 195 campers.